Epic Games have just made the biggest change to Fortnite ever. Starting next season, NA East and NA West servers are going to combine competitively to create NA Central. What this means is all tournaments are going to be hosted on NA Central from next season onwards. This means if you play on NA East or NA West and you queue up for tournaments on those regions, you'll be automatically rerouted to NA Central servers and playing on NA Central ping. This has a lot of people really excited and has a lot of people really upset. Let me start off by talking about why this is such a big deal before we talk about some of the main points like when's the tournament going to run, what's the prize pool looking like, how's qualification going to work. If you don't know how the servers currently are based in the United States, we currently have the NA East server in Virginia and we have the NA West server in California. The new NA Central servers are going to be located in Dallas, Texas. Now, that is going to be a massive ping increase for a good majority of the population. I say majority when I mean majority. If you look at the United States population maps, the majority of the population live on the coastline. So having the servers be in the central, in the south central is going to be rough for a lot of people, especially Canadians. I know, for example, Rise, you guys obviously know Rise, tier 1 NA East Pro, he's going from about 10 to 20 ping on NA East to now having to be over 80 ping on NA Central. And this is gonna be the story for a lot of people. I'm hoping a lot of tier 1 pros will be able to just move to Texas. It is cheaper than where the current two servers are. Like if people are boot camping living in California or they're living in Virginia, Texas will be a cheaper option, but potentially, obviously there are family issues. There's just a whole bunch of things. Most pros can't just pick up their lives and move because the servers do. So it is gonna be a teething experience where there's gonna be a lot of people very unhappy their ping is increasing. Obviously, there are gonna be a lot of people who have better ping now. Texas does have a large population. There's a lot of parts of Mexico who are going to get much better ping than now what they were getting on NA East and NA West. It's not all bad, but when you move a server region, there's obviously going to be a lot of people upset if they lived close to those servers. As for prize pool, this is one of the pros of this being changed. They did say that any prizing for NA East and NA West in future Battle Royale seasons will be combined into one pool for North America. This includes qualifications through multi-round tournaments such as Victory Cash Cups, FNCS Majors, and the FNCS Global Championship. North America will have one single champion for all competitive events for the first time. And that is going to be one of the big benefits. There is more prize money. It is going to make the region more competitive because there's more pros. We get to finally answer those questions. Will top tier pros like EpikWhale be able to hold up against NA East players? There is a lot of excitement around that as well. We do need to get some more information on how the FNCS Invitational is going to work. We currently have a table outlining how many people qualify from each region, and obviously if they just cut out NA West, a lot of people would have gotten really suspicious. So I'm gonna guess they're just combining NA East and NA West qualification spots, and that's gonna be how many people go through on NA Central servers, but we're still waiting to find that out. The next major concern a lot of people have are time zones. When are these tournaments going to run? Because there is currently a 3-hour time difference between NA East and NA West in time zones. If they now run this on NA Central time, that means the tournaments will run at usual time at 6 p.m. Central time. That means West players are going to be competing at 4 p.m., which is quite difficult for a lot of people who have school or in-person school or are working regular jobs. Tournaments during the week are going to be really hard for them. NA East is going to play at 7 p.m., which is quite late. That means they're going to run until about 10:30 p.m. at night by the time the games close. That is pretty rough again if you are going to in-person school. Just one of those concerns we're going to hopefully have addressed by Fortnite very soon, but I don't see any way of making everyone happy with this. It's either going to be really early tournaments or really late tournaments. I'm trying to be as fair and balanced as I can be here. I know a lot of you guys watching are going to be incredibly upset or incredibly happy just because of how your ping is. If you lived in Mexico or you lived in Texas, you're going to be incredibly happy. Your ping is now better. Tournament's going to run your time zone. If you live in Canada, you're going to be really upset because your ping is worse. For me personally, I now live in Oregon. I live in the state above California. I was really enjoying the rhythm of watching NA East tournaments and then playing NA West tournaments, making videos out of it. That was my plan going forward. So ultimately, for me, I am now on higher ping. A lot of my plans have been ruined, but I see why Fortnite is doing this. It is a step in the right direction for the competitiveness of the game and the longevity of the game. Eventually, this game is going to lose popularity. It's just how games work. And if you have less regions, it's going to have less impact. It means there's still going to be lots of players. Queues are still going to be really fast. It is still going to be a more competitive game. So I understand why they're doing it as much as it's negatively affected me. You're going to hear a lot of people complaining on the time timeline over the next few days. A lot of people freaking out. I still have concerns over how like arena and pub queue times are going to go now, because we now have NA East, NA West, and NA Central. That is splitting the queue times into 3 regions. Then you have pubs, solos, duos, trios, squads. Then you have arena, solos, duos. You get where I'm coming from, right? Queues are going to be really, really rough now. As an NA West player, I pretty much can't play arena at all until the afternoon once kids get home from school, because queue times just don't exist. It is now going to be even worse. So it's going to be a big teething experience, but overall, I think Fortnite has made a step in the right direction, and this is going to have taken a lot of effort and taken a lot of money. They're not doing this because they're being lazy or they're trying to get more money. This is them clearly making a decision they think is better for the game. That wasn't the only thing that was announced today. We did also have a pretty massive update. The majority of it is only really affecting pubs. There's a whole bunch of new weapons in pubs. There's new exotics, there's vaults. But as far as competitive goes, not a lot of it's made into competitive. I'm really confused by the specific wording of Epic Games as well. They said FNCS Major 1 continues to take place over version 23.40. Check the compete tab in-game for more information. So I don't know why they're mentioning that FNCS is going to run on the current update. It's always ran on the current update, but as far as I can see, I think the only things that were added into competitive was the new augment Keymaster, grants 2 keys for opening hollow chests, and last shots, the last 2 bullets of your pistol's magazine deal bonus damage. Now the pistol one's not going to be too crazy, but that double hollow key chest will be massive. If you have hollow key chests on your route and you're now getting 2 keys, that is a big buff. As far as all the other new weapons and all the new changes, I don't think they're in the game. We even have vaults being added to the map, but you can't open them in competitive, so that really shouldn't affect things much at all. They did say though they have finally fixed the shadow bomb augment being disabled, so you will be able to get Shadow Striker now, which I think is a big W. Finally another form of mobility that's solid, that isn't just the hammer. But they did also nerf re-rolling augments. As they add more and more augments, it now takes 200 gold to re-roll your augments, making it harder and harder to get the really solid augments, which some people would argue is better because it means not everyone's running around with Forecast, Danger Hero, and Mythic Pistol, but it also means there's even more RNG now in augments, because you're very rarely going to get the solid one. So if you go up against someone with Danger Hero, they're going to have a much better time going up against you. Some crazy changes. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Chuck a like on the video if you haven't, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.